class of 2020 on the Appalachian Trail hike. My name is Gene, and I think I'm going to join you for our hiking on the Appalachian Trail in 2020. Normally we have a gear list we go through, and I will cover just the high level parts of the gear list. Most of us have seen 20 or 30 gear lists already before we've gotten to this point where I'm here. And so this will just be what I'm going to take and just sort of the high level parts. In all the gear lists we go through, we tend to cover the big three first, so I'll start on the big three with my pack. I selected the Osprey pack, the Atmos 65, and that was based on some previous hikers on the AT. Since then they've changed packs, but I'm working on a budget and I can't really change packs, and they made it on the AT with this pack, so I think I will make it also. Thank you. Next part is my tent. I had another tent, and when I was hiking it was much too heavy, so I went back to the drawing board and I picked up a Big Agnes Tiger Wall UL2 for my tent selection. I've added a ground cloth to go with it, and that's about everything on that one, and you've probably seen the reviews on the Big Agnes. For the sleep system, I intend to start the trail no earlier than about the 23rd of February through 1 March. I'm retired, so my window for starting a trail can be anywhere in the ballpark. I'll just check the weather, and when there's some days without rain, I'll probably just say that's the day. I'll run down to Clola, get signed in, and the next day I'll start up the trail. So since I'm starting early, I need to have some cold weather gear. I've selected an older bag we have. I got the Big Agnes Lost Ranger bag to work the trail, and this is a 15-degree bag. Hopefully it'll keep me warm through the part. And then later on in the year I will swap this Big Agnes bag out for a hammock gear quilt. The quilt is only a 40-degree quilt, and I used this earlier this year in the summertime, and the quilt worked very fine. And then I used it in the wintertime, and it certainly was not warm enough. So then I went out to buy the Big Agnes sleeping bag. To go with the quilt, I have a sleeping bag liner that I can just take that to the laundromat when it's time, get that cleaned, save both the quilt and the sleeping bag from being dirtied up quite as much. We've seen that in all the gear reviews. I have a Sea to Summit sleeping pad, and I have this little cocoon pillow. So far in all my tests I found it to be unsatisfactory, so I'm going to go back to the drawing board some, try and either make this work or find another solution for this pillow. It might work for some, but it's just a little bit small for me, and I understand sleeping is important on the trail, so I'm going to try that out. I have no experience with backpacking, maybe an overnight or so, but nothing in the long range part, so this is all going to be new to me. I've watched probably 300 to 400 hours of videos of people doing the trail. In 2017 I had never heard of the Appalachian Trail, and then I started following a couple people. I said, you know, that looks fun, but I'm too old. And then I said, you know, it looks fun, maybe I ought to give it a try. So that's where we are today, is I'm going to give it a shot and we're going to go for it. As I say, I've watched a lot of videos of gear and sort of picked up what gear I have. I am on a budget, so I do kind of have to work in that, and realizing that this is going to be a one-time event. I won't hike the PCT or the CDT following this, so the gear that I purchase here kind of gets to be a one-time use. It's not going to be able to be taken out again. I have no abilities to do the PCT or the CDT, so that kind of keeps the budget in line. We don't want to get extravagant out there. Clothing wise, I've done what most folks have done. I've gotten the 2 pair of requisite underwear that I'll have in the wool. I have a swimsuit for laundry day, and if it happens to be along the way and there's any swimming that can be done, I have a swimsuit to go with that. I had looked at rain skirts and thought rain skirts were the way to go, but for one of my Alaska trips I had bought rain pants, so rather than buy a rain skirt also, I just basically have rain pants that I will carry, and if they work, fine. If not, I do have one advantage. As I'm retired, and my wife is also retired, she's going to be at the house. All I have to do is get word back to her that I need to swap out some gear. should be on Amazon, get a package and mail it to my next stop. So I have a ability to resupply and rethink as I'm out on the trail. Runs up to, I'm just going to work this side of the table for it. There's really no order to this. Socks, I have a couple pair of wool socks. These were a Christmas gift. They look really good. I tried them out for hiking. I think they're going to work. I have a pair of darn tough socks, and I have 3 pairs of socks. Hike one, dry one, and sleep one that will always be dry. I have some sock liners that I bought. I've never worn sock liners before. So in all the hiking I've done, never tried these. So I bought 1 pair of silk and 1 pair of merino wool. I'll try them and perhaps they'll keep down on the blisters. I've hiked one-day trips of good mileage, but I've never hiked, slept, and gotten up the next day and hiked again. So this will all be new. I have a lot of camping experience, but very little, I would say 0 backpack experience. I am obviously have a hair issue, so I do need something to keep my head warm. I can do this when I'm sleeping on the trail. I've taken it out here and it's as cold as it gets in Florida and tried it out, so it works here. It does fold down to a little face shield, so that if it gets really cold up on the trail in those initial days, I can have a little face shield to go with it. For sleeping, I have a 250 merino wool shirt and pants. These will always be dry. They're part of the bag that'll go inside and won't get wet, hopefully. For those rainy days and the cold days, from skiing, I know that mittens are better for keeping you totally warm than gloves, so I have a pair of gloves left over from my military days that I'll wear inside, mittens when it's wet. So this, when it's just cold with no wind, when the wind comes up and it actually gets colder, or when it starts raining, I have something to cover those that are waterproof to keep my wool gloves. I have a buff. I've used the buff on hikes and camping and I love it, so hopefully it'll work out. I've worn these on leather. These are my ankle compression. I'm not sure they really work, but I have them. I'm going to go ahead and try them. We were all advised to have a roller of some kind to roll out our muscles. I have one. I've been working with it. Once again, you'll never know if it works or not. You use it and you'll never really know, but you use it every day. I tried to get by with the minimum of stuff sacks. 1 for food and 1 for dry clothes, and this could add to the pillow part. However, I don't think that's a real good solution to the pillow. So I have listened to people who have sacks for everything, and they recommended not having a sack for everything, that eventually you have too many sacks. So I think I've gone to the minimum. I will put compactor bag down in my pack, and I will obviously carry an extra compactor bag in the bottom, so if it gets punctured, I have a backup system. Cooking, I'm like most folks, I'm going to go ahead and carry the fuel, and I have an MSR stove in this one. I have the regular 1 spoon that works. It worked on my overnighter, so we'll see how it works on the long distance. Some folks said don't take a towel, so this is my only towel I'm taking. That will work for everything, I hope. I hope that was good advice. My water will be done with the smart water bottles and the Sawyer system, and I know everybody has recommended not using the Sawyer system without the little plastic bags. I will give that a shot. Once again, I have a good stable home front piece that can get me another bag if when I get tired of doing that, if it gets me a pain, and they can get that in the mail to me so I can work with that. Cook stove, another Christmas present I got was just a regular pot and titanium like most of the other ones. We've all seen the trowel piece. We know that this is probably necessary. The toilet paper piece we have, taken a roll out, so we recommended that. I have done that. That was how I worked it. That's my leftover from a previous overnighter. I just have a little bag with the requisite stuff, the floss, the lip gloss, nail clippers, an extra lighter. My one burns out. I had the Bronner's soap. I was skeptical whether to bring soap, so I'll take it, and it could be on the side of the trail if it's not good. Foot powder. I was in the military for 28 years and never ever used foot powder or this powder, but never say never, so I'll carry it, and if I need it, I can have it. This is my first aid kit. It's basically a needle and some KT tape. I have a little bag of goods here that I will think about carrying a whistle. The Osprey pack has a whistle, but if you've ever listened to a whistle like this, you know the pack is no comparison. And some of the first aid kit and stuff will just go in that bag. I'm not going to cut the handle off my toothbrush, I don't think. I'm going to try it this way first. I was listening to somebody else's video and they said, this will last for 48 uses. So I said, okay, that's good. And I'll get a bunch of these and they can mail them to me along the way. These little wrap things were handy for camping. I'm not sure they'll be handy for backpacking. So once again, these could be mailed back home quickly. Parachute cord, paracord, all the other names it goes by. I have some because I need to have that for my food bag when we have to store a food bag. I have a light and it does have a red lens on it, so it won't disturb anybody, I hope. It does run on batteries. I'll have to carry some extra batteries because it takes 3 AA's. And this is the one I have for camping, so the budget has to work. I'm not going out to find another high value, high cost ultralight light. That has to work. Most folks are using the Anchor 20,000. I happen to have a 10,000, so I will be trying to use this and get it charged. If necessary, I have a second one of these in a similar fashion, not this exact model, that I can add to the trip, and that would give me about a 20,000. The real purpose of this video isn't necessarily for me to go over my gear list for you to learn this. The real purpose of this list is for me, one, to announce that I'm going to be on the trail and say hello to all of you, and to learn how to vlog. I have never done a video vlog. I have no idea how to upload to a YouTube channel. So at the end of this, if you're seeing this tape, you'll know I was successful in getting a tape or video uploaded to YouTube. Everybody recommends against carrying big knives. I have a pocket knife with me. Very simple, just a straight blade. And I have a very small tool that goes with me. Some folks have recommended, said this will not be necessary. It was a Christmas gift and I am going to carry it. I have gaiters. I was thinking I didn't need gaiters. I've got the compression socks, I've got longer socks. And then folks say, well, it actually might help you when you get stuff going down inside your shoe. So I have the gaiters there, the Ultra gaiters, and that will bring me to my shoes. I did pick up, based on other people, my feet are a little not as young as they used to be, so I took the Ultra Timps, kind of the medium lift shoe with the 0 drop, based on other people's recommendation of what they would work on the trail. Some folks said the Lone Peak. I say the Lone Peak had a little less padding, so I went for the Timp. When I'm in camp, I've listened to most of the other video reviews. I have Crocs for in camp, and I may even spring for a new pair and take brand new Crocs with me. Headwear, I have camped with this Tilly for a number of years now, so I tried it out with rain gear, and it worked with my rain gear, so I think rather than carry a ball cap and a Tilly, and with the sun on the trail, I'm going to go ahead and try and just get by with my Tilly. I can always pick up a ball cap along the way if I decide I need one. And when you talk about that, I will have an umbrella along the way. I understand the Appalachian Trail tunnel piece. I may not want it, but there will be some days when it might actually help on holding off rain, and on the sunny days it might work to help off the sun. I have my son hikes some, and he has loaned me his trekking poles. These are Black Diamond trekking poles, very nice ones. I'll start with that and see how that works. I have used trekking poles in my hikes around when we're camping, and I have in fact used these, and they're very nice. To help on with trekking poles, because they sometimes wear on your hands, I've got some very short, quick gloves that I wear on the days when I have that. For a seat cushion, we just bought a full-length pad. My daughter and I, we cut it in half, and each of us has half, and we use that for our seat cushion. I also noticed when I was sleeping under the Sea to Summit pad, I put this under my hips, and it tends to give me just a little more cushioning on my hip. I have had a hip replacement, so the little bit of extra cushion under my hip that's been replaced is a welcome relief. Food-wise, I think I'm going to use the system I saw on someone else's pack where they put a plastic bag with day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on there. I'll fill that in. I'll carry some. I've been working on how to do these beans. I've tried the mashed potatoes. I've tried a lot of things. For the week I went on just camp food alone. I actually lost 4 pounds here at the house. So that's going to be a challenge to get enough food on the trail when we start going. I do like coffee, and I do want sugar in my coffee, so this will be a excess weight piece that I may carry to get sugar in my coffee. I will drink instant coffee to keep that weight down. For the warm part of the thing, clothing, I have the ever requisite puffy that everybody carries around, and I can add this to the sleeping gear for the extra cold nights. I will probably keep this the entire duration of the trail because most folks say keep your puffy no matter what. I have an LL Bean rain jacket. Once again, I looked at the rain skirt, we talked the rain jacket. That hood does fit over and it does clamp down around my tilly, and it tends to keep me at least relatively dry. So I have opted for this rain gear. Everybody's sort of got the pants. I just have I use for camping. It's a pair of North Face pants. They have the zipper here so you can take off the bottoms. And I have the Columbia shirt. It's long sleeve. I will find something currently, I don't have anything to wear underneath this, but I will find something to wear underneath that. I tend to want long sleeves those days when the bugs are out, weather. And for skin protection, I've had a lot of stuff taken off my head and a lot of stuff taken off my ears. I don't want to add no more skin problems, so I will have long sleeves and have that option. So that's pretty much covers that gear. I think that pretty much covers everything I'm going to take for this gear list. I'm looking forward to getting on the trail in 2020. You folks are going to pass me up. I think on the first part, I'll probably be lucky to make 7 miles a day. I have done a 14-mile day with about a 10-pound pack. I'm working real hard in all this stuff to get my pack down to 25 pounds. 30-pound pack initially in the cold weather might be good, but in the summer months, it's got to be 25 or less. So I'm going to be working on that, trying to mail stuff home, learning as I go, watching the others, and hope to see you out there. Thanks, Gene's out. See you then. Bye.